live, and it should be going live any minute. Tell us when we're live. Here we're live. Hi everybody, and welcome. Eclipses. We've got a lunar eclipse season coming up, and because it's a lunar eclipse in Gemini, time to introduce you to my beautiful new family here in New Zealand. This is Eckhart. Say hi, Eckhart.
Hi there.
And this is beautiful Rochelle.
Hello.
And of course, you know who this is, don't you? This is Bonnie, and Bonnie wouldn't be sitting here if dear Rochelle wasn't holding her nice and tight.
Aww.
So, they didn't want to stay very long, so I'm going to let them escape if they want to escape. But do you want to say anything? Do you want to say hi? Gemini is all about communications. See, everybody's here. What a beautiful family. See all the people commenting. Aren't I lucky to have such a beautiful family? Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm super lucky.
Yeah,
so they've gone quiet on me.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to meet all of you.
Oh, thank you. They're just beautiful souls. They reached out to me. Gemini is all about extending a hand. Gemini rules the hands, you see. Okay, the hands and the arms. So this lunar eclipse is all about who do you want to reach out to? Who can you extend to? You see, she's extending her paws. Would you like to extend a paw to somebody? Who needs your loving touch, your loving hand? I got that from dear Rochelle and dear Eckhart, and they've made my journey so much easier and happier along the way.
And we've loved having you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't put it in the past tense.
we love
I'm
having
kidding.
you.
I'm kidding. So, yeah, it's great. Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
You did brilliantly.
Bye.
Yay.
See ya.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Thank you, guys. All right. So that was a real stretch for my dear family. Okay, that was nerve-wracking for them, and I'm really grateful that they stretched beyond their comfort zone. Yeah, it's not easy to stretch. For me, doing a live Zoom is a joy, and I'm kind of used to it. Yeah. So, but for someone else, except for Bonnie, who I don't think minded at all, we all have these thoughts about, will somebody like me? Will somebody not like me? And Gemini, everything has to do with your thinking processes. And as we come into this lunar eclipse, this eclipse season starting November 30th, and on December the 14th, we've got a solar eclipse happening in Sagittarius. So we're dealing with the energies of Gemini and Sagittarius. And right now, let's look at this Gemini energy. Gemini, the twins, the lungs, the hands, the arms, everything that is two, some of the twos in the body relate to Gemini. So Gemini is the good twin and the bad twin. Is the one that wants to go off in lots of different directions. The one that's a bit gossipy, that says, oh, listen to this and look at that, and oh, what's that about? And a lunar eclipse suggests a completion, something that we are, because the North Node is also in Gemini, so it's a very significant eclipse that we're building up to. So this suggests an opportunity to really see how our thinking processes, the thought, especially the lower mind, Mercury, and Mercury at the time of this lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. So it's a little bit of a contradiction in terms, because Gemini is about, let me be free, let me explore, and I have no concentration. I'm going from one thing to another. And Scorpio is, wait a minute, I need to get to the bottom of this energy. So how do we apply it to this lunar eclipse? Well, it's applied to the lunar eclipse by really beginning to become aware of, because the lunar eclipse is like, it's a very, very strong full moon. Imagine a full moon on steroids. It's powerful. And it's about becoming more aware of our thought processes. If you think you can't do it, you probably can't. But if you think you can, the good twin, maybe you can. And to become much more aware of how our thoughts and our words and our writing and our social media all affects one another. We're not in isolation anymore. It seems to be that through the breath, the virus is transmitted. And it seems to be that through the masks, it is transmitted less. And this lunar eclipse is an opportunity, especially with the North Node, because the North Node suggests that it is a humanity issue. So humanity's issue, thank you, Michelle, I appreciate that. It is humanity's issue to look at, are we healing with our minds? Are we creating more toxicity with our minds? It doesn't mean to say that you might not have bad thoughts from time to time, but can we rise above it and become aware of those negative thought patterns? And to know that your words have got the power to create disease in yourself and in others. And to know equally, the other twin, that you have got the power to create joy and healing in another through your words and your thoughts. You can feel it when somebody is thinking good things around you. And you can sure as hell feel it when somebody's got a negative vibe going on. What's your predominant thinking pattern? This lunar eclipse may bring it to light. And it's always an opportunity at an eclipse to make some big changes. Eclipses are often game changers. I think it's quite interesting. Gosh, I always say I'm not going to get into politics, not politics, but Donald Trump, Gemini, Boris Johnson, Gemini. So things coming to a head in that Geminian place. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa is encouraging you to like the video. If you would thumbs up it, please, that helps more of our beautiful soul family to join us. So thinking about this energy of Gemini, Gemini suggests choice. What are you choosing? This eclipse is an opportunity to determine what is your choice, because the choices that we make now, thank you very much, Kathy, are very significant. Sadhguru, one of my heroes, I have to say, I love him very much. He's an Indian yogi. Thank you very much, Lee. And he makes some wonderful observations. Whilst this is a difficult time on planet Earth, we're really rather lucky that nobody is dropping bombs on us. And we're not in situations largely where we are being deprived of our free choices. We do have choices. We do have choices as to how we're going to respond to the external events. And with the lunar eclipse in Gemini, I think you can expect changes to be happening more quickly. Gemini is about adaptability. How quickly can you adapt? How quickly can you say, this isn't working, but maybe I'll try that. And that doesn't seem to be working, but there must be something else and something else and something else. Gemini reminds me of birds. Birds. Can you hear the birdies? The singing of the birds. So which tune are you going to sing? Are you going to sing to your fellow people, our fellow humanity? Are you going to sing a song of seeing the good wherever you can go to see the good bits? Or are you going to choose the other twin and see all the bad bits and the things that annoy you, drive you crazy? I'm not suggesting that you don't speak up where necessary and where pertinent, but I am suggesting that we begin to consider how can we turn around these thinking patterns that keep us separate. What are the thought patterns that we've got going? The color of the skin, the religion, all these differences, because Gemini is about the differences. Gemini rules language. It rules our different languages. And the different languages are very beautiful, aren't they? Each language has got its own characteristic. Each nationality has got its own way. But can we put them into a soup? Can we create a soup together that is a nourishing and tasty soup? Or are we going to create a soup that nobody wants to eat or partake of? What are you choosing? What's true? What's false? And boy, there's a lot of things out there that you can think are true or false. All of a sudden, we're getting vaccines all over the place, vaccines coming out. Some feeling as though this is great, some feeling as though it's not. Can we accept all of it in the same soup? These are just questions that I feel are going to come to a head as we approach this Gemini lunar eclipse. So Gemini, the mental energy. What I'm feeling is that our world is going through a process of metamorphosis from being a caterpillar, where we're crawling along the ground, and where we are metamorphosing into the energy of the butterfly. And that's the Gemini energy, the lighter energy. How can I bring more light into the world? What are good questions? You see, Gemini would ask, and this is what I'm going to ask you here. We've got two teddies for the Gemini energy. What are some good questions we can come up with that will create a harmonious attitude to one another? What are good questions? How do we need to get our mind thinking in order to come up with the world of the butterfly rather than the world of the caterpillar? How can we free ourselves? What can we do? What are some good questions? I invite you here online to come up with good questions. Power questions. A good question might be, how could I use my thinking today in a way that will uplift every single person that I come in contact with, every single person that I reach online? How can I do that? Gemini is all about asking the right questions. Gemini is the questioner. And you know you can be a wonderful interviewer, maybe like Larry King, Oprah. What is it that makes these interviewers special? They know how to ask good questions. So What are good power questions? Because Mercury ruling this lunar eclipse is all about power questions. Yeah. What is a question that is empowering for us? Rather than asking questions like, oh, they're doing it to us. Maybe there's no they. Maybe there's something bigger than they. I'm just putting suggestions out here. The Gemini is very much about listening and showing interest in the answers. I love that. Great. Use every interaction as a chance to elevate my fellow humans. Thank you, Zoa Without Borders. Wow. Beautiful. And isn't it great? Everybody has opinions. Somebody here is saying Oprah is evil. Somebody else may say Oprah is good. This is all the Gemini energy. It's all Gemini. And yeah, we've got a few trolls online, and that's okay too. It's all okay. How can we just make it okay? I'm not saying that we're condoning certain things, don't get me wrong, but just let's open the thinking. That's the opportunity at the time of this Gemini energy. Do you want to go back to life as it was? What kind of a life do you want to move forward into? How can we be more adaptable? What's it going to take to be more adaptable? How can we use our technology in ways that uplift and help one another? These are just questions. So see if you can ask questions that empower you and open you rather than questions that block you. I think changes are going to happen more suddenly. So I think, how can I help you today? Beautiful. Thank you, Rev Sean White. Beautiful. Share our dreams. Yeah, but to stay open, to be curious why somebody would have a certain view. Let's be curious. But the questions are the most powerful. Powerful questions, powerful answers. Disempowering questions, disempowering answers. So here in New Zealand, for example, the weather changes. Yeah, you get used to the fact that in the same day, the weather can change many times. A night or so ago, I mean, this is summer, almost summertime, I wore my hat and scarf in bed. So we may have to find ways to be more adaptable than we like. And things may change in a heartbeat. I could never have anticipated, I don't think any of us could have anticipated before the beginning of 2020 what was going to happen this year. And I think the acceleration of changes are happening. I could not have anticipated at the beginning of this year that I would be in New Zealand. I could not have anticipated all the beautiful people who've reached out to me, and lovely Eckhart and Rochelle and Bonnie, who you've now met, my new live online family, you, my beautiful family, joining me for live streams. I couldn't have imagined I was going to live stream so often. So what are the things that you can open to become even more adaptable? Where are you holding on and stuck? And where do you need to be quicker? Where do you need to speed up? Gemini is about getting up to speed, not hanging around, because energy now astrologically is moving into the fire and the air energy. Yes, we've still got a lot of earth and water to get through, no question, but energetically, Mercury is soon going to be in Sagittarius. Jupiter and Saturn are moving into Aquarius on the 21st of December. So as we move gradually, we're moving into the energy of Sag, of Aquarius, fire and air, the lunar eclipse, the eclipses in Sag and Gemini. So this has to do with getting going. We've had Mars retrograde, Mars is direct in Aries. There's a lot of fire and air energy. So how can I be more inspired today? How can I uplift wherever I go? And as I said, you might need to speed up. Bonnie, lovely Bonnie, the little beautiful dog that you've seen, my little sweet Bonnie. She snuck out of the door. I was just opening the patio door and she snuck out. And you wouldn't believe a little thing like that. Those legs can go so fast. And there I am in my slippers, chasing after this dog who is becoming almost like a dot in the horizon now. It's not my dog. And I'm shouting, shouting. She's not taking a blind bit of notice, nothing. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And I'm trying to run faster. And obviously, I'm not fast enough. She's got 4 little legs. And as luck would have it, a lady came out of the house and I shouted to her, I said, stop the dog, stop the dog. And luckily she stooped, bent down, and Bonnie came just into her arms. And I have to say it was a very big relief. Thank you, Claire. Appreciate that. And I held her tight as I brought her home. So what's running away from you? Where do you need to really just think outside the box? I took the car to a panel beaters. I think I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I'm not used to driving on the wrong side of the road here after 8 years in Europe. And I didn't even get it out of the car park and I really pranged the car pretty badly. So I took it to the panel beaters yesterday. And he took one look at it and he said, oh, blimey, he said at least $1,000. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But next to him, one of his assistants, lovely lady. Not often you get a lady in a mechanics type workshop. She said, there must be another way. She said, there is another way. And she cleaned it up. She got some white polished, got all the scrapes out. Already it looked better. She said, I think there's a dent man that you might want to call. Well, I called the dent man and he's come back with a quote of $240, a quarter of the price. That translates into about 160 US dollars. So it's getting better. But again, ingenuity, coming up with new ideas. When one thing doesn't work, look for the other. Got 10 fingers, well, 10 digits. So let's exercise the different digits at the time of this lunar eclipse. So it's about realizing our networks. Gemini is very much about networking, creating these intricate, wonderful networks. I'm so lucky to have such a beautiful soul family. If it wasn't for my soul family, I wouldn't be staying here in Whakaparoa with lovely Eckhart and Rochelle. So many wonderful things coming from this beautiful soul family. So it is my wish for you that many wonderful things open up for you as you are a part of this network. This network is about upliftment, is about possibility, is about creativity, is about inspiration, is about new ways of seeing what we've got on the table. Not fighting it, but looking at it and saying, what can we do with this? Thank you, Melissa. She is encouraging you to thumbs up it. She really is. I'm so grateful for Melissa. Thank you. As always, it's about gratitude, for being grateful for what you do have. And when I think of Gemini energy, I'm just reminded of my lungs. The fact that I'm able to speak. that I have hands, that I have arms. Many are asking, where's Lucy? Well, unfortunately, dear Lucy is probably sleeping right now. I'm trying to do the videos at different times, different spaces, so that different ones can get to join. Again, I'm learning to be more adaptable. I used to only do the videos within a certain time range. Again, Gemini, let's just be like the birdies, the birds. The bird hops from one tree to another, but the bird has a higher view. It's got a bird's eye view. See if you can get a bird's eye view. Don't take things too seriously. Gemini is all about playing little jokes, having little bits of fun, seeing the funny sides of situations. So think about whether you really want to go back to the life that you had, or whether you want to create a new life here on planet Earth, and whether this whole wake up in 2020 isn't about creating something new that is better than what we had before. So I want to thank you all for being online. Teddy's here. From all of us here in Whangaparoa, much, much, much love to you. Bye for now.